Welcome to our video that reviews Punnett Squares. The purpose of this video is to help you review and remember how to make and understand a Punnett square. To start, let's review the purpose of a Punnett square. The purpose is to help you figure out what kind of offspring or the traits of the offspring of two parents. So their purpose is to predict the traits of an offspring. Our first example is using white and purple flowers. So remember that the genotype for white flowers, that white was recessive. And because white is recessive, the only way we can get a white pea flower is with two lowercase p's. That's why we have two lowercase p's written up here. The other one is purple. So if we have a purple flower, one of the possible ways to get a purple flower is by having one dominant trait, one dominant allele, and one recessive allele. Remember, we know if an allele is represented using a capital letter, that it's dominant, and if it's lowercase like this one, it's recessive. So let's pretend we're going to reproduce these two. We have a white flower, a white flowered pea plant, and we're going to reproduce it with a purple flowered pea plant. So let's see what kind of offspring we might get. What we do is we take one from above, or the allele that's written above and the allele that's written on the side, and put them together into the box. So let's do the first one. We'll have a capital P from the side and a lowercase p from the top. The next box, again we have a capital P from the side and a lowercase p from the top. Now if we go down a row, we have a lowercase p on the side and a lowercase p on the top. And again with this one, a lowercase p on the side and a lowercase p on the top. What does that tell us about the offspring of these two flowers? That tells us that half the offspring they should have will be purple. So half the offspring will be purple and half will be white. How do I know that? I know that half the offspring will be purple because, let me show you, this capital P, oh, I don't want that. Okay, this capital P here, this one, that's better, means that the dominant trait, the purple, which is dominant, will override the recessive trait. The same with this one. But because down here we only have two lowercase p's, those two flowers will be white. So we know that for these two plants, half of their offspring will be white and the other half will be purple. If you know this review is enough and you've got it, you understand how to make a Punnett square and how to interpret it, feel free to stop watching the video now. If you'd like one more example just to make sure, please keep watching. We're going to do another example. So, we're going to talk about dogs and the color of their eyes. First it says, in dogs, dark color eyes are dominant over light colored eyes. That means that whenever we have a dark colored allele, we are going to represent it with a capital letter. So in this case, we're going to use D's. So we'd have a capital D. If we're talking about light colored eyes, we're going to use a lowercase d because it's recessive. We are going to make a Punnett square to find the genotype of the puppies of a male who is heterozygous for dark eyes and a female who is heterozygous for dark eyes as well. And down here it tells us the capital D is for dark eyes and lowercase d is for light eyes. Okay, well let's start by figuring out what this heterozygous for dark eyes means about the genotype of the male. The male's genotype, first of all, hetero means different. So that means that if he's heterozygous for dark eyes and his two alleles are different from each other, That means his genotype is capital D, lowercase d. I know that because if his eyes are dark, he must have at least one dominant gene, which is the dark eyes. If he's heterozygous, it means his two alleles are different. So that means he must have a capital D and a lowercase d and dark eyes. Now let's do the same thing with the female. The female is also heterozygous for dark eyes. So you know what? She actually has the same genotype as the male. Now we need to put this into our Punnett square. There's a few places that the steps for making a Punnett square are written. One is in your notebook. You copied it down off the board. The other is it's taped up to the whiteboard. So if you want to refer to the steps, go ahead and look in either of those places. But the first thing you're going to do is write the genotype for the female across the top of your Punnett square. So we know our genotype is DD, and I'm going to write that up here, capital D, lowercase d. Done step one. Now we need to write the genotype for the male down the side. The male's genotype is capital D, lowercase d. Our next step is to fill in these squares. You're going to fill them in with one from the top and one from the side. So in this case, we're going to have capital D, right here. Then in the next square over, we'll have capital D, lowercase d. Here we'll have capital D, lowercase d. And here we'll have two lowercase d's. Okay, now we need to figure out what this Punnett square means about their puppies. This Punnett square tells me that the ratio for offspring of this male and female, for every three puppies they have, 3 out of 4, will have dark eyes. And only 1 will have light eyes. I know that because right here we have two dominant two dominant alleles, which means that this puppy is going to have dark eyes. Here we have one dominant allele for dark eyes, so this puppy will also have dark eyes. This one will also have dark eyes, and the only one with light eyes is this one right here. It's the only one with light eyes because it's the only one with two recessive alleles, two lowercase letters. I hope this helps you understand Punnett squares. If you're still confused about them, you should read your textbook about it. You can watch the video again and ask a friend about it. If you need more help after that, feel free to send me an email. That's all for now, and I hope this helped you with Punnett squares. See you later.